Hi, it's Jimmy Fasig with Fasig Brooks Law Offices. I'm here with my law partner, Dana Brooks.
Hey there.
And we are here to talk today about things to worry about on spring break that don't involve the coronavirus.
Yes. Before hand washing became revolutionary and we weren't so concerned about the spread of things, we used to get excited about spring break.
Yes.
And you and I still are. We're going to go. We're going to go on spring break.
We're
not
going to do
scared.
our thing, and we're going to have a good time. And we're probably going to do what a lot of people do on spring break is we're going to enjoy some alcoholic beverages.
Perhaps.
It's possible.
We may relax.
I'm going to say it's a possibility. So, but we wanted to talk to you about the potential liability for partying too hard on spring break, and then secondly, the potential responsibility that you have for yourself if you're partying too hard on spring break.
That's exactly right. Because you know, everybody knows if you're under the influence. I don't care if it's prescription drugs, you know, alcohol, cannabis, whatever it is. If you are impaired, and sometimes that could be just not getting enough sleep. You know, driving drowsy is just as bad sometimes. But if you are not acting as a reasonable person would under the circumstances, and that's the legal standard we all have to abide by, you could make some bad decisions. We have had cases where people got in a car with the wrong person. They would have never gotten in a car with that person had they had their faculties about them.
Right.
Or, you know, they wouldn't have gotten behind the wheel themselves. It could be things like not just cars, could be jet skis, bicycles, motorcycles, scooters, boats, whatever it is.
Perfect example.
Yeah,
perfect example. If you are out on a boat, it's spring break, you're out on a boat, and the person driving the boat is drinking and driving the boat. You can get a DUI for drinking and driving a boat just like you can get a DUI for drinking and driving a car.
Right.
You can also get a DUI for drinking and driving a jet ski, even a bicycle.
Or a golf
drinking
cart.
and driving a bicycle or a golf cart, you can get a DUI for that.
Yeah, and you could cause serious injury. And if you know someone and you own one of those things, or it's under your care, one of those, you know, a vehicle or ATV or something like that, and you allow somebody you know is impaired or reasonably should know is impaired, you're responsible as they are for any kind of harm that causes. But what if you are, you know, under the influence to a certain degree, and you get hurt because of somebody else's mistake?
Now, see, that's the interesting thing. Let's say, for example, you have a few too many to drink, and then you get into somebody else's car that you normally wouldn't get into, and then they're drunk and they drive and you get into a crash. This is a rule in Florida. This is a very interesting rule. If the jury finds that you are 50% negligent or more, if this was, if you were 50% at fault, then you have no case whatsoever. Even if that person that you rode with was completely hammered, you have no case whatsoever. Your case gets thrown out of court.
And that makes sense because you, again, are not acting as a reasonably careful person under the circumstances. So that obligation never leaves us, no matter what.
Now that only applies if you are 50% at fault and there are drugs or alcohol involved. If the jury finds that your intoxication contributed to it and you're 50% at fault, then you have no case whatsoever.
But you do need to talk to a lawyer because that's something we legal people call a fact question, meaning a judge isn't going to make that determination for you. It's going to be determined by a jury who's going to hear the facts because perhaps someone is alleging that that's what you did and maybe you have pretty solid defenses that say that that is not what contributed to the crash. So always, always, always contact a lawyer first. Let us hear the facts, run it by us, and we can help you go in the right direction and keep you safe.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you for listening today.